Hello, supportive tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem with me, BlueAnkylo. Now, before we start today's episode, we had a big break at the end of the last one. We sort of finished our first big mission to go to the Dragon's Gate and save Hollywood's father and Nils and Ninian and all that, and stop the Black Fang. You guys remember, hopefully. Anyway, we are getting on through the game. There's around 30 chapters or so altogether, I think. So we're probably around halfway through Hollywood's story. Now, one thing I've been saying I was going to do for a while, and I haven't really been doing it, is talk about support conversations between your characters. You may have noticed, I think we've got two ready to go. Hector and Hollywood are ready, and Lynn and maybe Florina are ready to go. There's a couple that, when you're moving people around, you can see the talk command, which means you've unlocked a new potential conversation. The reason I haven't done those yet was because you can only have 5 total talks. Each talk increases your support rank by 1, and it goes from C to B to A. And like I said, you can have 5 in total. So you can have 5 people, like for Elliewood, you could have 5 C ranks, or 2 B ranks and a C rank, or 1 A rank and 1 B rank. Just the way it works. Now, each character has a small list of people they can support. Unlike the more recent Fire Emblem games where you can just support forever and most people can support a half a dozen or a couple dozen people, in these games, most characters can only support like 3 to 5 people tops, and then if they're not in your party, you kind of cut that down even further. So the possibilities of who can actually have support conversations is relatively small. There's not a whole lot of options based on sort of what party I'm using, and you can sort of mess it up. Like, for instance, I think Oswin perhaps only has a couple with people I've got. So if the people who could talk to Oswin already fill up their support ranks with someone else, then he's sort of left out. And not only do you get some flavored dialogue for your characters, which I appreciate, and I wish you could show off more of it, but you only get a little bit of backstory for each character every time you play through. But you also get stat bonuses when the two characters are closer together, which is actually a big deal, especially if you're playing on hard mode. And I'm not going to min-max it all the way, but I'd like to show you guys how it works at least. So what I've been doing before we start our next episode, before I start our next chapter, is I've been going through sort of my probable team, who they can have support with, their affinity, we'll talk about that in a little bit, and then sort of who I'm planning on supporting them with to various ranks. And then we'll talk about the how much affinities do in a second. So, first off, I did a little bit of research. There are, at the most, 18 people in a battle, and I think that only happens once. You're probably going to use 14 or so in your main team most of the time. And honestly, there's going to be plenty of maps with 10, 11, 12. So 14 is quite large. And I sort of started from the top where it was like, these people are going to be in the team no matter what. And then towards the bottom, I'm like, I don't know. If I have room, I'll bring Rebecca or something. So that's my plan. So you should expect Hollywood, Hector, Lynn, probably Ninian or Nils. Priscilla, I need to have at least one healer, although I was thinking about it. I've also put their weapons they'll use on promotion here. Once we've promoted the other mages, I might not need Priscilla that badly because we'll have enough healing, but she's the only mounted healer in this game, I believe, the Valkyrie class, which is fun. And I'm trying to start it out so that we're using a good variety of classes. You know, not every single class in the game, but I'd like to show off most of them. So we've got Canas and Lucius. I want to bring Florina. You haven't actually met Heath yet. He's a Wyvern Rider, but I want to show off a Wyvern Rider, so I want to bring him. And Flyers are great anyway. Sane is probably the Cavalier I'm going to bring. He seems to be doing the best so far, although we'll talk about his support in a second. I definitely want Oswin, because he's awesome. He's the win button. And Raven seems to be doing quite well as well. You know, point is, he turns into a hero, and I really like this class. Dorcas, I was on the fence, and then I remembered he promotes to, I can't remember the name of the class, but he can use a bow after promotion. And I was thinking, actually, a unit that primary is an axe and secondary is a bow is almost exactly what I want, because I just want a little bit of bow to handle the occasional enemy flyer, but I don't want a pure bow unit because they suck. Well, they don't suck, but I don't like them as much. So Rebecca and Will are lower on the list because they are just snipers. They can only use bows as promotion. I was thinking about Wrath. We don't even have him yet, but he is another one of those unique units. He's on a horse, he can use a bow, and he can use a sword once you promote him. So I was thinking, depending on how he turns out, we might bring him. Plus, I'd like to pair him up with Lyn anyway. Lowen is our last Cavalier. He's been kind of weak on the level ups the last couple times, so he's pretty low on the list. Some of these people further down here are replaceable. Like, if someone else joins up that looks awesome, these 15, 16, 14, 17, 18 slots, I can easily trade other people in there if I feel like it. Dart, I haven't used much. He is just Axe all the time. I know a lot of people like Dart. He's probably the best pure Axe character other than Hector, who of course can use a sword later. But single weapons in this game aren't my favorite. I like it to have at least one other option, so you can take advantage of weapon triangles a little bit better. So pure axe, I don't know, we'll see. And then my archers have been really underperforming in my evaluation this far. And you'll always want to keep a thief around for opening doors and stuff. So I don't know if they're going to be on like boss battles or big fancy matches where just damage matters, but for the fog battles and for the treasure chest battles, you got to have a thief, plain and simple. So I'm not going to go through all of this, but I sort of went through, I looked up the guide, who each of these people can support, and then I just deleted everyone who wasn't someone I was going to use. So some of these people have a fair number of options, like Hector can support lots of people, but Dorcas, there's not a lot of people that I'm bringing that he can even support. Canas, unfortunately, there's not really anyone I'm planning on bringing that he can actually support. So it actually lowers how much I want to bring him. Unfortunately, he's the only Dark Mage ever, so I kind of want to bring him anyway, even though he's probably not going to get any support, which sucks. And then I put the affinity here. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then this is sort of my potential plan. Nothing's written in stone yet. Some of these are just because, like, if I do bring Wrath, for instance, you remember Roth, whatever his name was. If I do bring him, he can't really support anyone but Lyn. So that means I locked Lyn in with him. And then her other options, well, Eliwood or Hector or something would be fine. And the same kind of thing, some people have really low possibilities. So I did theirs first, and that's kind of the plan. And then the people who had lots of options, I sort of filled in with whatever works. Like Hector and Oswin, because Oswin doesn't have a lot of choices, basically. There's also some that are kind of personal plot choices. I'd like Eliwood and Ninian to get together. I'd like Hector and Florina to get together, and Lyn and Wrath. I don't think it's strictly speaking canonical, but those are like classic matchups. Same thing with like Priscilla and, well, her and Raven are certainly siblings. So having those two have a support would be nice. I actually messed this up. I didn't. I have Lucius. No, I have them both. So Lucius and Priscilla could work. Lucius and Raven are bros, apparently. They're friends. Stuff like that. Other than just totally random pairings, I tried to pick people that sometimes also had some actual history that you're aware of. Anyway, this is just... I need to start planning out how I'm going to do this, because you only gain support points to get your ranks if you keep them together in battle. I didn't talk about that earlier, but it's fairly simple. You don't even have to fight. You just have to end turn next to each other, and they get a couple support points. Eventually, C will unlock, and if you keep doing it, B and then A. So I need to start actually playing with a purpose here. If I'm going to have Hector and Florina actually get a support, I need to actually put them together in combat, or it's just never going to happen. As far as affinities go, I guess I'll give you a brief overview here. If you already know it, you know it. But if you've never learned, it's a little bit complicated. So, let's say you've got a character here, and then this is like your battlefield. So say this is Eliwood, and say this is Ninian. Let's say I'm going to put them together, but let's say they only have a C rank support with each other. So they've had their first conversation. As long as they're within 3 squares of each other on the battle, or closer, they will get some stat bonuses. Both of them. And I think it stacks with as many people, like if you have 5 people at C rank all together, I think they each all get it. I could be wrong. It might only be the active character getting the ones, like, I don't remember how it works on the defense. It doesn't really matter. Point is, you get stats. So, and they have to be within range 3 of each other. They don't have to be adjacent. They can have a couple spaces. So you got to keep them relatively close together as far as the stats go. Getting the support points, they have to be together at the end of a turn. That's simple enough. Now, the way these work, everyone's got an affinity, and each affinity gives you a different bonus to your stats when you've got a support bonus. So we said we've got Eliwood and Ninian. Eliwood is Anima, which is this one, and Ninian is Ice, which is this one. So both of them at C rank will get those bonuses added together. So Eliwood will get the Anima rank C plus his Ice rank C to his stats, and so will Ninian. The trouble is any decimal gets rounded down. So, for instance, at C rank, with Anima and Ice, they'll end up with 0 attack, because 0.5 rounds down, 2 hit rate, 2 plus 2 to hit rate, plus 1, assuming it was Anima and Ice, right? I'm not messed up, yeah. Defense, they'll each get plus 1 defense, they'll each get plus 5 evasion, no critical bonus, and plus 5 crit evade. That's not bad. And then once they hit B rank, these double, so now they do get plus 1 attack. They'll get plus 5 hit, plus 2 defense, plus 10 evade, plus 10 crit. And the same thing at A rank, it now triples. So 1.5 still rounds down to 1, 7.5 rounds to 7, you get 3, you'll get 15, you'll get 15. So if you really, really want to min-max to the extreme, you can look up who your support possibilities are, what affinities they have, figure out which 2 affinities you want, because different characters can use different stats more. Attack is both strength and magic, I believe. But some characters don't care about defense much. So you could maybe get a mage, if you plan on never letting them get attacked, that has fire and wind, and then all you're doing is boosting their damage, their hit rate, maybe their critical chance, and you don't really care about the other ones because they're not supposed to take damage. So you could try to find 2 people with fire and wind, you know, say, these aren't actual fire. I was just thinking, well, I guess if I bring Rebecca. So Rebecca and Sane, let's say, whatever. And then they would each get those bonuses. And keeping in mind that they round down, so you do like to match them up where possible. Because if you match up people that have the same bonus, they lose out half an evasion. But they will always get plus 1, 2, or 3 damage, and plus 5, 10, 15 hit rate. So, like I said, I'm not going to stress out about this. Maybe if you're playing on hard mode and you really want to, min-max to the extreme, do that. But, I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, the goal here is I need to start working towards these A and B ranks that I want by putting these characters closer together. And I haven't memorized them all, but I've sort of decided some of the basics here, and we'll just go with that. And know that in the background there's some stats going on as we get support ranks that give people bonus stats. I'll probably forget about it all the time, so don't freak out on me if I don't put my characters too close together. Like, if I end up with Eliwood and Ninian and I put her over there, they're not getting their stat bonuses. That's going to happen. I'm not going to be that perfect of a player that we're going to, maximize this stuff. But I like to plan it out a little bit, and now I've spent half a video talking about it. Let's at least get through the story and pick out our units, and then we can start the actual battle next episode. New Resolve. At last, Eliwood's long-awaited reunion with his father, as well as their painful farewell. After escaping the Dread Isle, didn't we kill everybody? Mostly. They returned to the city of Badon. I suppose the pirates let us go. I was kind of wondering if they were going to rob us. Eliwood remains silent for the duration of their passage. He sits cradling his father's cold hand, as if to warm him back to life. And unfortunately, Eliwood's lost one parent. I wonder if his mom will survive this game. But to be a true hero, can't have parents. And we did save the kids. And spoiler alert, you'll actually get to use them eventually. It has been quite a while, I guess. Like 20 or 25 episodes. Right, sorry, 1 year. These people don't know about episodes. They don't know we're filming this. I'm sitting there in my armchair with a camcorder beside me, just recording everything they do. A little bit creepy. Hector's a good guy. Look at his blue hair. You can trust him. He's decent enough. And he walks out. I'm sure Hector would be good with the kids. Kids would probably like him. Right, they knew Albert because he'd been there for so long. Yeah, we saw that cutscene. I think that was when or whatever his name was got stabbed by Jafar. Or, I don't know. He kept getting stabbed a lot. You know. He did hide pretty well because Nurgle didn't even know what was going on, and he was able to sort of save Ninian at the last second from the dragon summoning. So, +1 barding hide ability. So apparently when they get separated, bad things happen. Yeah. It's interesting pairing of those two kids. Sure. It would have been better to just say he had mind control powers, honestly. No, it was Elliewood. It was pretty obvious. Wait, Nurgle can call dragons? Why didn't he call one then? You know, he might have been able to stop us if he just summoned a dragon. Ah, quintessence. Yes, of course, of course. Aha. The power. Ah. Right, so you gotta have a power rating of 5,000, let's say, to summon a dragon. And then after you use it, you run out of mana. And, I don't understand it. You can steal... I guess maybe it is just mana. And, if you get to 0 MP, you also die. Sure, sure. Except only Nurgle has it. Oh. So you can gather it from war. Ha, okay. Right, right. Maybe that's why Elliewood's dad was there. Maybe that's why Elliewood's dad was being sacrificed. So if people that are strong of mind and spirit have lots of quintessence, how come Nils and Ninian have none? Or they have no willpower at all? They're bad people, in fact. Terrible little children. Right. Your dad was just such a good guy. This evil warlock is gonna suck his soul out. Just to summon the dragon. Aww, poor Elliewood. So, like, that's Foray's army is all dead now. That's what we've learned. It's like the entire army is gone. None returned. I expect, like, in real life, these people would actually have known, like, a good number of their retainers, like, noble lords that went off with his father. Like, he would have lost a lot of personal friends, probably. It's kind of like Marcus, right? You know how they're close? There would have been a lot of people like Marcus that are now dead. Yes. Natural fighting ability. I don't think Eliwood's avoided a single battle thus far. I'm pretty sure we fought it out every single time. Maybe he doesn't like it, but he sure doesn't mind fighting. Well, we've done a pretty good job of keeping Lycia safe, I would say. You know, we put down a rebellion, and we've killed quite a few bandits that are out there causing problems. Oh, right, yeah, who's gonna tell his mom? Someone better send a Pegasus to go tell her that her husband's dead. Well, these two. There's no reason that I paired them up on my list, guys. It's not like the music changed as soon as she walked in the room alone with Eliwood. Let me take care of you. Well, it's probably because he's got the hots for her, actually. Yeah, exactly. Why is everyone so nice to me? Is it because of my long, beautiful hair? Or my gorgeous face? Or my amazing singing voice? Oh, I just don't understand. I suppose the kids, they have spent a long time running, so their childhood has been kind of busy hiding from the Black Fang. So they might not know normal social interactions very well. Uh-oh. Special powers. Engage! Well, that's good. Well, how do you know, kid? Are you a doctor? What, is he a doctor too? Oh, so he's just a vampire. Fine. Fine. You could have answered the question, kid. It would have been nice for him to finish that. And now we'll never know what Nurgle actually is. Yeah, we'll just deal with it ourselves. It's fine. Oh, Eliwood, you go hang out with your girlfriend. It's okay. Yeah, we already know that there's enemies coming. Really not a big deal. Hey, little guy, go hide. No. No, I want your sister to help. You go hide. Alright, so, new match. Only 10 units. Remember that big long list of people I have that I want to bring? I can only bring 10 of them. It's terrible. Let's have a look at the map. Well, it's a night map, so that means we got fog. There's also Ballista, which could be bad for Pegasus Knights, so I might not bring Florina this time. We've got a couple red houses. We've got an armory. Finally can buy some more iron and steel weapons. I'll have to spend a little bit of time stocking up on some iron and steel, just because I'm running low on a few people. There's also an arena, so I could do some arena grinding. Another red house. I assume the boss will be over on this end. Another vendor for magic and stuff. So we got 2 armories, a vendor, and an arena. Lots of stuff, lots of shopping and stuff to do. Lots of houses to visit. It's also dark, so we'll probably bring a thief. Although I was going to talk about that too. So, I had a little look off camera at Matthew, and it's actually a bit easier if I just Let's just pick only those two so we can have a look at their stats easier. So we got Matthew and Legout. Oh, fine, we'll do it like this. Ah! I just want them to be side by side. Is that too much to ask for? There we go. It's good enough. So we've got these two. Legout does have a little bit more XP, so if his stats are better, 3 levels worth of that. But Matthew, let's see, he's rank C. So Matthew has a little bit of weapon XP on him. And let's compare here. So they'll both have the same movement and con, I believe. Actually, no. Legout is a bigger guy. He's got higher constitution. So he's actually, even before you look at the other stats that are variable, he has a higher base con, which means he can almost use a steel sword without any penalty. That's a fairly big deal. You can consider that essentially +2 speed at base. You can also rescue people a little bit better. So when comparing the two of them, although that won't affect stealing speed, that will affect doubling speed most of the time when you're using heavy weapons. And using steel swords is better for damage because these guys tend to have low strength. So that's a good start. Anyway, 8, 11, 15, 10, 8. 8, 11, 10, 15... No, 8, 11, 15, 10, 8. 8, 11, 15, 10, 8. So, Matthew is terrible. The only thing Matthew has is speed, which, as I just explained, the Constitution kind of makes up for. So I think Matthew just got himself benched, because all of his stats are worse, except speed. And Legout's fast enough. And the point is, once you've factored in weapon weight and you get your attack speed, it only needs to be 4 higher than the fastest enemy you're going to encounter. So really having an absolutely top-of-the-line speed, it doesn't really make much difference if you're already faster than the enemies, because you're already going to get doubles and there's not a whole lot of benefit after that. I guess speed probably gives you a couple points of evasion. I think skill is for hit rate, yeah. So speed might end up giving you a little bit higher evade, but, really what you want is the doubling. So I think we're going to use Legout, and we're going to basically can Matthew. I don't think I had any supports that hinged on using Matthew because I wasn't sure if I was going to use him anyway. Whereas I did have some possible support plans for Legout. So that's good. On the other side, I was thinking about whether or not I'm going to keep using Lowen. As we get more people to replace him, he's going to fall down the list more. There was also the question of whether or not I bring Dart. His level is starting to lag behind it because I forgot to bring him on the last couple maps. And honestly, because he can only use axes, he might not ever get onto the team. So, that was the plan. Now let's look at the fortune. Maybe I'll do the inventory management off camera, and then next episode I'll just start with the battle ready to go. But, yeah, my tactics have gone way down. I think that's turn speed. I wasted like 10 turns at the end of last episode, so my tactics rank went down. Even though normally I'm pretty aggressive, if you waste turns, your overall score goes down. Let's see what she has to say. Place aches my bones. Yeah. Take my money. So it's dark. Yeah, maybe I'll bring a torch or two if I think of it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I could bring Rebecca, but we'll see. Antitoxin? I guess that means someone's got some sort of sleep staff. I don't know about that. And that's all she's got. Alright, so my initial suspicion here is we're gonna bring Legout for thieving. We're probably gonna need, at least one healer and Hector. And technically I can promote Priscilla. I didn't talk about that yet either. I was considering, well, I mentioned it. Because it's so difficult to get her to level 20 and finally get her attack magic, if I promote her early, her stats won't quite match up to people who promoted at level 20. She also doesn't have a huge amount of magic, actually, compared to my other mages. Well, I guess she's not too far off of Canaz. But Lucius there, his stats are just ridiculous. Blast Cannon, as far as physical goes, no crit evade, no defense, but man is he fast. Like, he is faster than Matthew. He's had really good levels up for speed. That is awesome. Anyway, I'm still not sure long-term what I'm doing with Priscilla. I think I decided not to bring Florina. It's really nice to have a Cav, although Sane is getting really high leveled now. Like, he might be my highest level character, so I don't need to bring him. If there's only 10, I could try to spread the XP out here a little bit. And I don't bring Dorcas and Raven, or I don't get them a lot of kills, so that might help. Because I'm leaning more and more to keeping Dorcas on the team, because I do think having his backup bow might be worth it. Now, his defense is pretty terrible, which is why you might bring Dart instead. I feel bad for not bringing Urk. He's not bad, but I just think the other mages are better. And I didn't know if I mentioned it. When Priscilla promotes, if I do promote her anyway, she can use anima magic, so she will pretty much straight up replace Urk as far as my animus caster. And with 9 magic, she's almost as much damage as Urk is. He's just a little bit better at some of the other stats, like defense. So who else are we bringing today? We've got 4 more. Let's resort it. So we don't need 2 thieves. I should probably keep bringing Lynn. Lucius is also really high level. Oswin we should bring. It's nice on dark maps to have some defensive people because you don't know who's going to rush in on you. Canas is so good right now. I could bring Rebecca. Like, if I do keep Dorcas, and he eventually gets a bow, and I might bring Wrath, or Roth, whatever, you know, the nomad guy. He'll have a bow. That would be 2 people with bows. That means Rebecca is even lower on my list. Mind you, her supports aren't bad. Nobody else lower than that is, well... I really do need to decide. There's an arena on this map, so anyone I want to catch up, I could spend some time on this chapter and get them up to level 13 or 14 or something. That wouldn't be the worst idea. It would waste... Our tactic score would go way down, but if I want to bring Rebecca and Dart, I could catch them up. Oh, fine. I might have to spend some time off camera just doing some arena stuff. And I feel a little bit bad about grinding, but some of these people are just so far lower in level that if I don't use them and bring them up, I'm never going to use them, and I'm still on the fence. Alright, so how does this team look anyway? We've got... Like, I could cut out Lynn or something if I had someone else I needed. It's a small team, but that's just the nature of the map. We've got lots of swords, couple axes, actually got lots of axes, lots of swords, only 1 lance, no magic. I don't like that. It's a bit weak on range, but they did say to bring an archer, so supposedly they'll be Pegasus or something. They also mentioned the sleep, which means antitoxins. Well, I'll play with the inventory off camera. I'll want to make sure Legout has lots of space to steal stuff, and I'll move everything around. Oh, also we've got oops, dang it, I want to go to trade. We do have a new permanent stat item. No, that's promotion. I thought that was plus stats. No permanent stat items? Pick any up. Just want to make sure I end up using them. We got a couple of magic level ups, an archer level up, or promotion. Oh, I do have the +2 luck. Okay, well, I'll figure out who I want to use that on off camera, and then I'll use it at the beginning of the episode next time. I don't think I have any antitoxins. I never bought any. Although I'm sure we can buy some on this map. We'll think about it. Yeah, alright, well, that'll be my team. Next episode, I will have the inventory sorted out, and we'll actually start the map. Let's do one last little thing here. Let's have a little look around. So there are enemy mages. White mages are weak to anima, so you don't usually run into monks on the enemy side, and I don't really have anyone to counter them anyway. Like, Canas is weak to them, and Lucius is just a tie. I'm sure Lucius would murder them. They look really weak, honestly. So we have to deal with them. What I want to do here is... sort of use Matthew to get some view. Oh, there's a lot of these mages. Wow. Well, we definitely want... See, I feel bad for not bringing Florina now, because... all there is that we can see is monks. Well, whatever. I may change up my team a little bit. I'll think about it off camera. But yeah, sorry for not getting to the combat. I wanted to show off the support stuff early on, and I need to start matching people up. So I'm gonna try to remember who I want to match up. I might make myself a little note on the side or something, and we'll start working towards that. Like Hector and Florina, Hollywood, Ninian, Lynn, Wrath, Priscilla, somebody, the Gout, somebody. I'll try to figure that out. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Like I said, I had to show you off the support at some point. Now you guys are caught up as much as I am, anyway. And we'll try to stick to some more combat episodes next time. See you guys next time. Have a great day. Yada, yada, yada. Ramble, ramble, ramble. Never close the video off.